Hello everyone, welcome to part 5 of this video series about VMware vSphere 5.5. In this video we're going to explore vCenter 5.5 configuration that we installed in part 4 of this series, and after that we're gonna import the both ESXi host within this vCenter, and then we're gonna be installing configuring vCenter appliance 5.5. Now within our test lab environment we have a DC, a VC, vCenter, and 2 ESXi hosts. First of all, verify if this is a vCenter server. We can go to VMware. If you see a lot of these things, it is a vCenter server, and the way we can connect through a vCenter server is preferred way is to vSphere web client. As soon as you start the client, you can connect through the SSO user ID, which we configured during the ESXi vCenter installation. Now we also installed the Acrobat Flash Player. So this is administrator at vSphere.local and the SSO password. Now as soon as it logs in, this is actually a feature-rich console for vCenter. Within this within this web client, this is more preferred way of accessing vCenter other than using vSphere client, normal client. Now here in this first screen, home screen, it gives you the help. On this side, this is navigator, content area, you have search here, and global configuration. Now this type of console is being used with all applications nowadays. I'm gonna close this for now. It tells me that if I ever need to see this console again, I can go to help and show all getting started. Now on this side, it gives me all these menus. This is my vCenter menu. As you can remember, if I directly connect to a ESXi host, it gives me less options, whereas in vCenter it gives me vCenter, host cluster, VMs, template, storage, networking, orchestrator, and all these options. We'll be going through most of these options during this series. For now, let's see what are the most common objects that we'll be working with. So as being a VMware admin, most of your time will be spent here, hosts and cluster. As soon as you go into this setting, it should show you if there are any hosts added to this vCenter. For now, there are no hosts added. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add our first host, which is this one. Now we can add these hosts. We can add this host only under data center, which exists here. Now we can create folders or data center both. Folders are just placeholders. Folders are just to better organize. So for example, if we have two different physical locations where our data centers are, we can create two different folders. Let's say for example, one data center is in Toronto and another data center we have in Montreal. It is creating a Toronto data center. Actually, it's just a folder, placeholder, just to better organize. I would say Montreal. And then within these, now these folders have no technical significance. These are just placeholders. What you can do, you can create data centers under them. So my first data center is going to be in Toronto. Within Toronto, I'm gonna add my first data center, and I'm gonna call this like Black Iron Data Center. It's a huge big data center here in Canada. So I'm gonna just install this. make a data center. Now this is a data center container in which I can add host. The data center container is the one in which you can add hosts, you can add clusters inside. For now, I'm gonna add, as you can see, I can add host, cluster, data store, which are the storage, distributed switch, VMs, everything inside a data center. But I cannot do the same thing under folder. Folders are just placeholders. So I'm gonna add my first host. And in order to add this, I'm gonna go by IP address since I've not registered them in DNS. For now, I'm just gonna go with IP address. So here, my IP address is 192.168.100.50. And next, it asks me the username and password, and my username and password would be root and password. It is asking for confirmation. It is now added. Asking for license key. It is an evaluation version. Now here it is asking for lockdown mode. If I select this, then nobody will be able to directly connect to ESXi host, which people should not directly connect to a ESXi host that is connected to vCenter. So for now, for this test lab environment, I'm just gonna keep this unchecked. And next, and next, and finish. So in few moments, that host will be added to this data center. Guys, I'm gonna add the second host by name. Now in order to add the second host by name, I need to register this IP with this name within the DNS, then I'll be able to access it by name. So first remember, it is ESXi02, and I'm gonna actually, at this point, I'm gonna add both of them, both of a host records within DNS. We go to DNS here and go to forward lookup zone. Within forward lookup zone, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a new a host record. I do not have any other record with the same IP. Actually, I do. Okay, so for now, because this other server is not on, it is Canaps ESXi02, and IP address was 100.60. This is 100.50. So 192.168.100.60. Add host successfully added. I'm gonna add the second one, Canaps ESXi01, and IP address is 192.168.100.50. Let's verify. It is Canaps ESXi01 100.50. Always verify whenever we are creating these. Again, verify one more time. This is ESXi1. Capital, small letter doesn't matter. Just verify here. ESXi02 is 60 and ESXi01 is this. So once it is configured, now this time I'm gonna add the second host. Let me add the second host under Montreal. So in Montreal, let's go create another data center. Now this can be a data center, let's say, let's name it MonDC01. So this is Montreal data center 01. Gonna add the second data center here under Montreal, and I'm gonna add the second host under Montreal. Now this is just for example purposes. Later on, I'm gonna add both hosts to Black Island data center, and we're gonna go do everything in Black Island. So here, let's add host. This time we can add this host with name, Canaps ESXi02. We can use a fully qualified domain name. And next, get founded, password, and It is done. Next, evaluation key, no lockdown mode, and it's added. And I'm gonna remove this my first added data center so that I can add it by name. Yes, disconnect. How do you remove it? Just by disconnecting it. Yes, disconnect this host. Let's add it by. So it would take few minutes because it is being removed from data center. It is. Let's add it again. So it is canets ESXi 01 dot domain name, and next root validate okay, so the previous one has not been merged. It's not been removed, so we'll have to wait for some time before this is completely removed, and then we can add it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so unable to communicate with the remote host since it is disconnected. Okay. So this is a vCenter. This is a vCenter, one added by IPA, the other one added by. If you go inside the ESXi host, let me try to reconnect this for now. Let's see. Reconnect this host. Minutes is fine, and it tries to reconnect to this. Let's see. Since it is a web console, sometimes we do need to refresh. Mostly it refreshes by itself, so I am able to connect to this host. It shows me the two VMs. Now it shows me the two VMs that are inside. So this is a vCenter. We'll be working on this vCenter later on as well. At this point, so on this side it shows me all of the tasks that I did: reconnected, disconnected, added standalone data center, and everything. If I need to move this host to this data center, I can easily move it just by dragging it. It will be moved, or I can move this one to this Black Iron data center. So for now I'll just leave it as is. This is my vCenter web client is installed. Now let's see if we need to install vCenter appliance. So installing vCenter appliance can be installed in so many ways. If I go inside here and find a VCA appliance, so it is VMware VCA 5.5, VMware VCA 5.5 images. So vCenter appliance is actually it's an OVF file. vCenter appliance is an OVF file. It's a VM that will be installed inside a ESXi host. We can host that VCA inside this host or this host, or we can also install the VCA appliance here within VMware as well by going into open and then connect directly to VCA. Now I've previously downloaded VCA appliance. It should be in right here. VCA appliance. VCA appliance, when you download it, can come in 3 files or it can be downloaded in 1 file. OVA stands for, it comes with OVA extension. OVA stands for Open Virtualization Archive. Now this is a complete package of 3 files, and those 3 files are OVF file, MF file, and a VMDK file. For now, we'll just install this file. So in my case, I'm going to install a VC appliance as another VM inside VMware Workstation. I can install that VC appliance inside ESXi host, but for that I have to move that appliance inside this VM, move it here, and then add it to the host. But instead, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create another VM inside VMware Workstation since I have the OVA version. So let's install VC appliance. There are a few steps involved that we need to see. So installing VC appliance. Now since this video is already 16 minutes, so we'll stop this recording right here, and it's better that if I install that VC appliance in my next video. So thank you for watching this one.